Wait, that doesn't look right. I can't do a pre-drywall inspection. Today we dive into signing a new construction contract and the design appointment. Let's do it. This is part 3 of my 4-part series on buying new construction. If you missed part 1 or 2, go back and take a look. It will be worth your time. So for today, we are at the point where you are going to sign the contract. There are some things you must know. Depending on if you are buying a spec home or a home to be built, you may need to be close to deciding on who you'll use for a lender, unless you're buying with cash. The preferred lender usually offers some kind of deal such as $5,000 towards your closing costs. This looks great and sometimes is as good as it looks. However, I strongly suggest you still shop around. The builder's preferred lender may offer something good up front, but may try to gain their money back in one of 2 ways. Either they'll have higher lender fees compared to other lenders, or they give you a higher interest rate. Either way, they're trying to get their money back that they claim they are giving you. That means you need to talk to reputable non-preferred lenders. You then can compare their lender's fees and their rates to the one you're getting from the preferred lender to see if it's a good deal. It is also possible that these other lenders may match what the preferred lender is offering you. The biggest thing is don't get taken advantage of by seeing something that looks good on the front end but really costs you more in the end. Next, the builder usually has their own contract. Ask the builder to send you and your agent a copy of the contract to look over before you go in to sign or you sign electronically. Since these are unique to each builder, it will take some time for your agent to look over the unique contract. I have read over contracts that have stated if the property doesn't appraise, then the buyer is responsible for the difference. This is very different than the contract I usually use that states if a property doesn't appraise, my buyer is not responsible for the difference in price and will have the ability to walk away without losing any money. Another thing I have seen in builders' contracts is a builder not allowing pre-drywall inspections. That is an inspection that allows an inspector to see framing, electrical, and plumbing, basically look behind the walls before the walls are put up. I highly recommend this inspection, but some builders are saying no to these. I wonder why. With all that said, if you don't sign their contract, you ain't buying one of their homes. But at the bare minimum, you and your agent need to know what you are getting into and what about the contract may be different than what you and your agent are expecting. Last thing is to make sure everything you expect and were told are in the contract. You must have everything in writing for it to be part of the contract. If you're told something like, hey, we'll give you blinds throughout the house at no extra cost, then this needs to be in writing in the contract. Okay, congratulations, you're now under contract. If you are buying a spec home, then you usually don't have this next step, which is the design appointment. If you are buying a house that is being built, then you will have something called a design appointment. Know that these appointments are typically during the week and usually run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That means you may need to take time off of work to attend this. At this appointment, you'll make selections on things such as brick color, carpet, other flooring types, and paint colors throughout the house. You pick out cabinets, countertops, and more. This is often when you can choose upgrades as well. You may have already picked some upgrades already when writing up the contract, like adding a covered deck or choosing an upgraded kitchen layout. During these selections though, you may want nicer granite or maybe quartz. There may be fixtures you want to upgrade and more. Just be prepared for a higher jump in price. With all that said, there are a few warnings to be aware of. First, choosing colors. They will give you some samples to look at for colors for both inside and outside the house. Outside the house is for trim, siding, and the doors. The problem is that the colors can look different in different lights, and they can look different when you actually add them to the wood or drywall or siding. You should at least take the time to go outside in the sunlight to look at these colors. It will give you a better idea of what it will look like outside the house in the sunlight and what it will look like inside the house when sunlight's coming in. Just be prepared to have the colors look different once they are on the items that are being painted. Next, if you choose a granite, they will tell you that the granite can vary in color and pattern. What most reasonable people picture is that a white granite with some black and gray specks may or may not be a little less or more white or have a few more specks in it. However, granite can change dramatically. I had a client choose a white granite with some black and gray specks in it. When it was put in the home, it was a black granite with some white specks. It wasn't just a slight variation, it was a totally different color and look altogether. I showed multiple people outside this transaction pictures of what we chose and what they put in. Every time the person had the same comment, they put in the wrong granite. Everyone was shocked when I told them that the builder said it's the same granite but the pattern changed. While in this case we were able to convince the builder to put in new granite, it was definitely eye-opening. While the builder can't control what's coming on the ground when the granite's being mined, they can control what the sample looks like that they are showing buyers and pay attention to color changes. With something that dramatic, the builder should have let us know that what now is coming out of the ground is very different than the sample they have shown us. And do we still want it? Let's continue with some other surprises that can occur. Sometimes at the design appointment, you get a picture instead of an actual sample. My clients, for example, got a picture of a tub, seen here. Now they expected what they see in the picture to be installed. To their surprise, the wand in the picture and all the fixtures in the picture were different than what was installed with the tub. My biggest issue is if the fixtures in the picture that you are showing are not included or are different than what you are putting in, then you need to tell the buyer. Or better yet, use a picture of a tub without fixtures included. And yes, I looked up this manufacturer and saw the picture that was shown to us, but also found pictures of just the tub with no fixtures. So it was possible for this builder to get a picture of just the tub, but the builder chose not to do it. The lesson here is to ask about everything you see in a picture and make sure you know what you're getting. Another thing to note is when you are at your design appointment and you do any upgrades to the house or what you're putting in the house, you'll have to pay a certain percentage of that cost up front. Typically I see 50 to 75% of the cost. So if you're doing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of upgrades, you may be asked to put $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 extra down up front that is at risk if you don't go through with the sale of the house. So make sure if you're doing all these upgrades that you're definitely going to close. Those are my tips for the builder's contract and the design appointment. In the last video, we will explore inspections, walkthroughs, and the closing. You won't believe what builders tell me and buyers to try to get around fixing issues their workers created when building the home. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when my next video drops. Click the subscription button. Thanks, and I will see you next time.